women have gone insane. You're good goddamn right they have, Asmongold. Asmongold out here trying to out-misogyny ya boy. Asmongold thinks he can out-misogyny me? Moi? No, sir!
Angry young women. I guess they must have just got done watching my stream.
Wrong. Women watch my streams. 3.5% of them. Who do you guys think has a higher female viewing audience ratio? Because I know my female audience demographics. I have a 3.5% female viewership. Who do you think has more female viewers, me or Asmongold?
New feminism reshaping Britain. So it was a Wednesday night. Oh,
the new feminism reshaping Britain has a lot to do with them being taken advantage of by the Muslims.
Here we go. There's a lot more of this. Dating men with different political views.
Yeah, everybody is saying Asmongold has more female viewers than me because he's got female viewer VTubers. Exactly.
They all immediately said, no, I don't think I'd even be friends with one. They don't even see you as human. And this is it. Made her a pick-me. Oh, yeah. And I think that women have been totally one-shot by social media. And I think the reason why is that social media hacks women's brains. I think in a unique way.
See, here's how you know. Here is how you know Asmongold is not as big a misogynist as I am. He thinks that women have brains. I don't even go that far. Women don't even got a brain for the social media to hack. Undisputed belts. Buy you a custom misogyny belt. That would be awesome. A custom misogyny belt to wear on stream. That would be dope. And then War Wizard for a 2-banger. Asmon has more female viewers and more hair. Bitch, fuck you. Fuck you. I put baby powder in my hair today, bro. I put baby powder in my hair today. Fuck you. But shout out and thank you for the 2-banger. Both you.
A different way that it hacks men's brains, right? Like with men, it's sex, but like with women, I think it's consensus. Because once you establish a consensus on something, a lot of women just automatically go and they agree with it. They're like,
he is correct there. Women are followers, not leaders.
yeah, so true, so true. But that's not how something like that works. So, yeah, calling strike? I guess so. And so anyway, we'll look at this here. And I'll look at the Justin Bieber thing, but that's a good example. Strikingly, young women are a lot more negative about the opposite gender than young men. Look at this here. Under 30 women are 3x as likely to hold a negative view of young men than the other way around.
Men, get your misogyny purse up. This is disrespectful. This is, bro, you gotta pump some numbers up. What the fuck are you doing out there? These women are openly having negative views about you, saying nothing can change it, and you're all like, that's fine. Nah, bro. No, son. You got to hate them broads. Assert dominance. You are better than them. Men are better than women. Always. And everything. Except like giving birth. And even then, if we could, I bet we'd be better at it.
So men don't really like, I mean, and this is, by the way, guys, all of
Razor Off gets it. Razor Off's a female. She says, slap us bitches. Right. Slap the bitches.
the talk of like, ow, there's so many incels. I hate incels. Oh my God. They're everywhere now. Oh God. Where have all the good men gone? Well,
you turned us into incels. I mean, not me, obviously. I fought like a beast, but
where have all the good women gone? They all fucking hate us.
Were there good women though? When were the good women? Like the 50s when they knew their fucking place? When were the good women?
Hate us. And meanwhile, the amount of actual incels. So women, we have guys, we have to deal with the incels. You understand that? We are the people that are suffering from incels. It's just that the incels are women. That's it. And
he right though. He right.
Take a look at the graph. The graph says this. I'm not saying this. The graph is saying this. They created them. Yes, the femcells heard us. They have. And there it is. Men under 30 have a 72% positive outlook on women. Women under 30 have only a 50% positive outlook on men. Women under 25, only 35%. Think about how crazy, dude.
Women under 25, 35% of them. If you are out in public, just in your day-to-day, just going to the fucking mall or the library, whatever you people that actually go outside do, odds are 65% of the women that you encounter standing behind him at the fucking line at the grocery store. And then there's also the female, grocer checking you out. Odds are both of them fucking hate you just because you got a dick.
The thing is that,
and I kind of get it. Because men didn't keep them bitches in line. Because men stopped keeping broads in their place.
Like, if there actually are, like, overlords, if
I'm not saying there's still good women out there. I'm sure I'd need both hands to count them.
Israel really does control the world. Can you imagine how happy they are right now? Can you imagine they're like, oh, bro, we have all the goyim fighting. They hate each other. Like, everybody's addicted to drugs. They think that if they look better, they're going to be happy. But now we're going to raise their interest rates again, and they're not going to have any money. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a bullshit stat. I don't think it is.
No. Chat, do you guys think this is a bullshit stat? I don't think this is a bullshit stat at all.
I don't. I think this is real. And so maybe I turn to Judaism to get a woman. Well, I don't know. But women under 20...
You don't need to turn to Judaism to get a woman. You can like mail order brides from parts of the world where the women know their place and are subservient. That's the better option.
25. Only 35% of women under 25 have a positive view of the opposite gender. Think about how crazy that is. Like, that's like 1 in 3 women.
Goyim is a negative term for non-Jews.
Likes men. Think, really. 1 in 3 women likes men. Wow. Is yellow neutral? Yes, yellow is neutral. And so 27% of women under 25 hate men. Almost more women hate men than like men. That is insane. This is crazy. Like, I don't, like, how do you even get here? It's just, it's insane.
How do you get here? I'll tell you guys how you get here. You get here by giving them rights, by letting them vote, by letting them hold office, by letting them be CEOs, and by making movies like this. By making movies like this. Guys, I like me a good romantic movie. I do. I actually like romance movies quite a bit when they're done well. And While You Were Sleeping, excellent movie. The Notebook? This is what you dumb broads are watching? Even as somebody who likes chick flicks and likes romantic comedies, dude, I was talking last night about how much I love the movie The Help. Dude, I love this movie. 2011, The Help. Great fucking movie. Unironically love this movie. And these dumb bitches are watching The Notebook while we're letting them vote? Nah, we're done. We're done. Misogyny going back, and misogyny going back in a big fucking way. Trauma Tuna with a 10-banger. The stat is accurate. Women appreciate men more as they age. It's the minority of loud feminists that are poisoning the current female demographic. And I feel like that number is only exacerbating and growing larger as the current culture war rages on. It's something that started happening during the at least the 80s. But shout out, Tuna. Shout out. I appreciate you. This for you. While we're being misogynist here, let's also make sure we're transphobic.
Now excuse me while I harass someone for having pronouns in their bio.
Shout out for the tin banger. Appreciate you, homie. Leon liking a movie about black people. Hey, it's a real good movie, and at the end of the day, the white people are the good guys.
Even imagine something like this is true. Young women are 26 points less favorable to capitalism than young men and feel much more positively towards communism than capitalism.
These dumb broads fought to get the right to work, and now they're upsetting spaghetti about working. So they don't like capitalism, so they want to go to communism where everything's free. That's the female mind at work.
Women under 25 dislike capitalism so much they view it as unfavorably as fascism. The UK should place slavery reparations by a 2-to-1 margin. They think 43 to 40%. It is unfair that some people have more than others, and we should redistribute wealth over people deserve to keep what's theirs, even if that means others have less. More negative than young men about their careers, earning potential, and property.
They have no right to be upset about property when they themselves are in fact property.
Now, I could give you my...
Trauma Tuna? See, that's a good romance movie. That's a good romance movie. I actually just saw it for the first time to review it on another channel. My good boy Nick over The Plot Strikes Back. As good as it gets. That's a good romance movie. How do you write a woman? I think of a man. And I take away all reason and accountability.
Analysis of this. But number one, you already know what it is. And number two, I would get banned.
I love The Princess Bride. I think The Princess Bride is one of the most brilliantly written films of the era it came out in. It probably would hit an all-time list. Probably even top 50 all-time. And I'm also biased. I played Inigo in the stage play version.
So, I will just simply discuss the topic. I'll simply discuss the topic. That's all. No more vacations. Yes, no more vacations. And anyway, this is just... Somebody says, hoes eternally mad. It seems that way. The young, middle-class, educated white women feel the most strongly about these issues.
Imagine using the term educated and white women in the same sentence. Imagine using the term educated and women in the same sentence.
You know what's crazy? Is that we thought you needed a study to figure this out. Wait a minute. So you had to do, like, research? Like, you could have just asked me, I would have told you this. I didn't need, like, you didn't need to do all this. Like, what's all this money getting wasted over nothing? So young women are communists?
Thanks for the sub, Daniel.
I think that the reasons why young women feel this way, so let me explain all of the reasons. Actually, let me go through everything, and then I'll explain it, okay? Female graduates heard much more positive views about communism, feminism, and socialism, and Extinction Rebellion, rather than non-graduates. Grads are more likely to back...
One can be educated and realize bitches be dumb as shit. I love when women comment stuff like that. That's why, Razor Off, you're one of the few good ones. You're part of that 3.5%. Most of what I'm saying doesn't apply to you. I mean, the stuff about, like, men being better and you know, not having as much, you know, rights and being property, that all still applies to you. But the intelligence-based stuff doesn't.
Grads are more likely to back... Oh, slavery... I thought slavery reparations. Like, I was about to say, like, damn, okay, all right. But say we need more government intervention to ensure life is fair. And white women are more critical about the country and their chances in it than those from an ethnic minority background. White women are more likely... So, wait a minute. White women are more likely to say the country's racist than people that are not white? Young white women are less likely to feel like they feel valued by society. There is a COVID generation. U20...
We gotta stop blaming COVID, guys. because I talk about this, especially with the anime and whatnot, COVID colonizers, and it is true. There is absolutely aspects of that. But let's be real, these bitches be mad dumb since way before COVID. These bitches were mad dumb since way before COVID. Hoes were mad in 2009, and hoes were mad in 1999.
Fives are more likely to think COVID has a significant impact on their lives and opportunities. Under 25 women think that it's much more likely to believe that things are stacked against me no matter how hard I try.
Things are stacked against you because as a woman, you've got very bad risk analysis skills, and you stack this shit against you with your own poor decision making and lack of accountability after said decisions have been made.
Oh my god. 6 in 10 would find it difficult to date someone who disagreed on Gaza.
6 in 10. I bet half the women that have opinions on Gaza aren't even a 6 out of 10.
3 out of 4 say the same views about Donald Trump, with even more saying they wouldn't date someone who disagreed with social justice. So here's the big problem with this. The birth rates. The birth rates of these people that are super liberal like this is like 0.6. It's like 0.6 or 0.8. Like, you want to talk about extinction? You're doing it. You're doing it to yourself. So,
dude's just gonna be going to fucking the Philippines or Vietnam or Japan or the one with all the lady boys, Thailand, and then he's gonna be knocking up the Asian bitches. Bro, it is not only white boy summer. It is white boy decade. It is white boy generation. White boy century. Because then white boys gonna be knocking up all the Asian broads. You did this to yourselves, white women. With your purple fucking hair.
So is all chat incels? Well, yeah, all of the incels on the internet right now are here. This is...
With Latinas, it's 50-50. With Latinas, it's 50-50, Monster Man, because here's the dealio. You got some based-ass Latinas like Sevi, and then you got some dumb, broad Latinas like the ones that go to fucking universities and rant and rave about like social justice and shit. It's real 50-50 with the Latinas.
It's like the main... They call it the main base of operations. And this is where they get their orders from on like which innocent nice girl to harass and humiliate on today. And we'll get to that later on, okay? Don't worry about it. But anyway, women are the gatekeepers of sex, and men are the gatekeepers of relationships.
He is correct. He is absolutely correct.
Saikuno. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about this. In a secret Discord chat? No, it's true. It's undeniably true. Everybody knows it's true. So, tell it to Saul. Well, I don't know about that. And he wasn't in a relationship with them. I think that's a great example. So, yeah. So this is what I think is happening, is that I think that a lot of these people, what's happened is that women nowadays go on social media whenever they're very young. And this is I actually think this is a big problem. I think a lot of women got groomed whenever they were kids on the internet, and it's made them hate men.
So, I agree with that, and I also think it's actually a twofold issue, because grooming is not just a sexual thing. Grooming is not just a social thing between the opposite of the genders. I think women were also groomed by other women in a social way. Jonathan Haidt and his happiness metrics prove this. That not that social media is good for kids in general, but it's far worse for women. It's far worse for young girls than it is young boys. Yeah, women be grooming each other into being little hoes and harlots. Older men on social media be grooming little girls into being hoes and harlots. It is definitely a problem. But women don't hold other women accountable. It's real easy to blame the dudes for it when they do the bad shit. Women don't hold the evil dumb broads that groom them socially, and frankly, they do it in real life as well, not just social media, accountable.
Straight.
Women can't hold other women to any sense of accountability. And if you want proof, Watch the Whatever podcast. Watch the Whatever podcast. Even the quote-unquote based women, most of the time, are at least on a physical level nice to the other women.
Yeah.
God is great. Just subs. Shout out. God is great. Appreciate you.
I think that's a huge factor. I think that some girl goes on Instagram at 14 years old and she gets a bunch of grown men trying to talk to her, and it makes her hate men.
Again, Asmongold's not as good at being a misogynist as me. He's not. He's not calling out the fact that women do this to other women as well, and not just in a sexual way, but arguably worse is the social way, because the ramifications for it are not near as noticeable or near as immediate.
I think it's a huge problem. It's a massive problem. Gigantic problem. And, like, think about that, right? And like, I was 9, I got groomed on MSN. That's pretty early. I mean, that's really early. Tumblr fucked a lot of girls up. What I'm saying is that all Tumblr and everything else, my point is that all of that anti-men messaging, think about how much of a multiplier effect it is for all of these underage girls to have dozens of, like, grown-ass men in their DMs trying to talk to them. And if you don't believe me that this is happening, talk to any girl that you know that was on the internet while she was underage.
That's a very good distinction to make there. Talk to any girl you know that is of age now that was underage. Don't just go up to a 15-year-old girl and be like, "So have you been groomed online?" No. I may be a misogynist, but we don't do that here.
And she's going to tell you that it's fucking true, right? It is. So, and it's a huge, massive fucking problem. And so, like, and this is the issue with that problem.
What up, babe?
Okay? And I'm going to explain. So this is it's a nice, beautiful day, okay? It's a great day. The sun is out, the grass is green, and, we got to do the sun. Okay. So this is the sun.
You want to know how we know that men are better? Notice how it's called the sun and not the daughter.
And
I think we should start calling the moon. We should stop calling the moon and start calling it the daughter. Because it's small and only reflects light as opposed to gives it off itself. And it doesn't really do anything for us, if we're being honest. Yeah, it keeps the tides in check. But even then, it's not that great at it. It's kind of like how a woman on her period, you know, like we have the new moon once a month. And the tides get all wacky and crazy. And then we got the full moon once a month, and the tides get all wacky and crazy. Kind of like a woman on her period. I think we should start calling the moon the daughter, and the sun will stay the sun. The moon is commonly referred to as a woman. There we go. I didn't even know that. Didn't even know that. Razor Rock says, my daughter has an amazing boyfriend, still a man hater. I feel so bad for him. Damn. That's rough. That's rough. Your husband needs to hit your daughter more.
There is a tree. There is a tree in the meadow that begins to grow. This tree is a 13-year-old girl.
Oh, the female name is like Luna. That makes sense. Lunar shares prefix with Luna. Shares the prefix with lunacy. Nice.
And yes, I know I talk about things. I'm going to say one thing really quick. I talk about these things in a very matter-of-fact way. I speak in very plain English. If this offends you, if this upsets you, if this bothers you, if this makes you uncomfortable, good. Welcome back to reality. I hope you enjoy your stay. Here's what happens.
We all know where this is going. If y'all know your internet lore, you know what EDP be.
Just a minute, I'm trying to make this good. Okay, so,
He brought her a whole care package when her endo flared up and she couldn't even move. He's a freaking keeper. Damn, what a guy. What a guy.
This is kind of what happens, is that you have this girl, and inside of whenever she's like, let's say, just theoretically, 15 years old, right? what happens is that she gets groomed on the internet to meet or to deal with some guy that is a good bit older than her. And that interaction damages and reframes her entire life in the exact same way, metaphorically, that if you grow a bonsai tree and you pull a branch down, or a tree grows around a tree, or sorry, it grows around a fence or something like that. So this is what happens is.
But again, you also have the social tug of war that is women shaming, or you got young girls shaming other girls for not being slutty enough, for not sleeping with enough dudes. Oh, you're a prude. Conversely, there's the slut shaming. Oh my God, she's such a slut. She's fucking these dudes. She's got a lot of boyfriends, whatnot. So you've got the complete social tug of war of being a young girl. Men don't really deal with this shit because we're better.
That they
Did I cover 8250 yet? I don't even know what the fuck that is.
have this happen when they're very young, and it totally changes the developmental ordering of their life. And I'll give you another example. Here's another parallel to even lock this down even more. Look at what happens with people.
I don't buy that there are enough women being groomed to justify. Jor, I'm gonna be real. Is an epidemic. Is a fucking epidemic. I actually do believe that there are enough girls being groomed to again, justify that number. There's a difference between justifying the number, because justify means to acknowledge it's like it's okay, that it's not a problem, or versus I do absolutely believe that number is real, and you could see how we get to that number. And it's an accurate number.
That were abused. How many sexual abusers turn out to have been sexually abused? There's a term for it. There's vocabulary for this. It's the cycle of abuse. So guess what? Do you really think this doesn't happen over here? Just don't be.
War Wizard is doing it right, by the way. War Wizard in the comments is doing it right. He's listening to me in the car with the speakers up around women. I hope he pulls up to a red light. I hope the speakers are down. I hope that the speakers are up and the windows are down. And there's some gals in a fucking big red Jeep next to him with their windows down. And they're looking over and listening to this when I say fuck hoes, fuck bitches, women ain't shit, men are better. Y'all have tiny inferior brains. You suck at intellectualism. You're born pseudo-intellectuals. You shouldn't be allowed to go to college. You shouldn't be allowed to hold positions of power. You shouldn't be in the workforce. Men are better in every fucking way. And I want the woman to get the most disgusted fucking look on her face. But then also acknowledge she's kind of turned on right now. And yes, like Gord said, also, ladies, green light.
A woman, simple. Well, nowadays apparently that's possible. So is this going to be an NFT? Yeah, you'd explain the EDP thing to chat. Oh, this guy was like a YouTube pedo and he tried to meet a 15-year-old girl and bring her cupcakes. That was the joke for anybody that doesn't know. And so the moment that you get groomed by some guy like this, it's going to shade your perspective on, like, a good example of this is like, did you guys ever have like a scary movie whenever you were a kid? And that scary movie like caused you to like it fucked with your psyche a little bit whenever you were little, like you would.
Everyone has experienced this, yes.
Like look behind doors and shit like that, right? Like I remember like whenever I watched Signs, like that shit scared the fuck out of me as a kid, right? And then I watched was it the M. Night Shyamalan? Was it The Village, right? Where like you're going in there as like the red monsters or something. Like, yeah, so, like, Signs was that for me. Signs fucked me up. Yeah, that shit was crazy, right? And, anyway, and, like, now I don't have that perspective at all, but, like, when you're 7, right? Like, that your whole mind is different. And, like, when you're 4...
For those curious, for me, it was Mars Attacks. I know Mars Attacks isn't even a particularly scary film, but I was young. I was alone in the house I lived in. My mother left her fucking 4-year-old alone in the house. Mom of the year. And it was on the TV playing, and I had never seen it. I didn't know what it was. And it was when they released the Martians first come down, and the humans think they're nice and peaceful, and they release the doves, and the Martians with their big eyes and giant brains in front of faces, and they're like, "Ngack, ngack," and they shoot fucking lasers, and it fries the bird. Terrified me. Terrified me. Fuck Mars Attacks, bro.
Your whole mind is different. So I think that's what happens, is that, like, you have a lot of these girls that are going on the internet, they're going on social media, they're having these freaks, weirdos, creeps, and pedos going after them, and I think that that shades their entire perspective of all men. And the fact is, who can blame them? I don't blame them. Like, the thing...
No, and that's how you know you're a real misogynist, by the way. That's how you know you're a real misogynist, when you don't blame the women for this. Why would you blame the women for this? They're intellectually inferior. They can't control this. You need to blame the other men for allowing it to get this bad, because if men had done their fucking jobs, this wouldn't have happened. You don't blame the dog for biting the person. You blame the owner for raising a bad dog. It's the exact same. Piplup Stars commanded for a 2-banger. Hey, Leon, how's it going? Currently playing Mouse PI. Right on. I'll be playing it on stream tomorrow if we hit goal. Doesn't look like we're going to, so I guess I'm just playing it solo. Shout out. Thank you for the 2-banger.
Is that you might think that women hate men and it's irrational. Ask a woman that you know to read some of their DM requests. Holy. The Ring and the Grudge? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm saying, like, and again, when I talk about this stuff, I try to relate it to people's individual experiences.
Gal Carrymon, fucking legend, just dropped a 20 membership banger. God damn. Thank you. Did not need to. You'll love to see it. Homie is going to get a couple of clips. And it's going to be real funny because when I clip this segment into a full video, an audience that has no idea who I am, who have been part of these streams, they're just going to see, oh, Asmongold and some other dude talking about misogyny. Let's click it. They're going to get this far in the video, and they're going to experience some horsecock.
Horse semen's great.
I'm digging horsecock.
Is your cock a horse cock? You will never hear me say it. Nay. Ooh, as I make more.
My favorite stallion that I keep in my top drawer kinda goes hard though.
'Cause there is no cock like horse cock. Send your asshole into shock and eat horse.
I don't know how we're going to ever top horsecock.
To all the potential new viewers, like I said, when this is clipped into its own segment and you're still watching, you're listening to me now, you have no fucking idea what you're in for. Welcome to the party. Shout out Gal Carrymon. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. That means the episode loyal to me. 20 membership banger is fucking insane. Thank you.
Right? Your personal experience. So whenever I'm talking about, like, let's say this, for example, or something else, I try to make it to where, like, people can understand it and relate it to themselves. Because, you know, again, like, if you're not able to do that, it might be harder to do. Bro, but there's a one-way sexual asymmetry. Can you explain why that is? Why is there a sexual asymmetry? Why do men not have that perspective? Because women are more prized in the sexual environment than men are. Think about...
Well, and not only that, but let's go back to the graph. The graph showed women under 25. Women are also more prized in the sexual marketplace when they're younger. You know? You want to wife up a gal when she's 20. Right? You want to wife up a gal when she's 20. And you want to keep that shit going the rest of your life. None of this like, oh, I'm waiting for my career. Fuck that gay shit. So obviously, you got dudes going after younger women. Now, the problem is, when you have those same creepy, not the same, but when you got creepy as fuck dudes going after girls instead of women on the internet, that's no, wrong. Disavow.
it like this. Let me think of a good way to say this. I guess I can use the another old incel quote. This is an incel quote from before there were incels. This is an incel quote you'd get from boomers, right? A lock that can be opened
I knew this is the one he was going with. Let's go.
by any key is a faulty lock, but a key that can open any lock is a master key.
Exactly. is
That's
true.
it.
And now, mind you, I don't endorse this. I don't endorse the use of men using their master key to open all them locks. I think this whole red pill, you need to fuck 50 bitches before you marry one shit that, like, Myron, what's his name, over, like that. I think that red pill shit's dumb as shit. I think that red pill shit is fucking retarded. I think it's lame and gay. I think it's just as much of a psyop as fucking Candace Owens. But the quote itself is a true quote. War Wizard with a 99-cent super sticker. Shout out. Thank you so much. It's a little devil horn. It's because I'm saying some evil shit right now. But it's true.
So, and think about it like this, right? I mean, a woman, like, let's say a dude wants to have a kid. Okay. Well, you're locked in for, like, maybe 5 minutes. Let's say a woman wants to have a kid. You're locked in for 9 months. And like, you know, realistically a lot longer than that because you have to take care of the kid. But, like, at least 9 months. So the problem is that women are biologically inclined to be the selectors in sex. They have to be. There's no...
Yes, they have to be, but they also have to do the selecting. Hey, War Wizard, shout out. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Yup, and with that, we hit the goal. We'll be doing a stream tomorrow during the daylight hours because, of course, you know, I've got Neon Leon and everything. So, daylight hours during on the gaming channel. Mods, if you want to drop a link to my gaming channel, if you'd be so kind. Glitch in Paradise. We will be doing a Mouse PI stream tomorrow. Shout out, you legends. Thank you so much. War Wizard, you got us to the goal. This is for you.
I'm loving the game. The game would absolutely get a pretty high score from me.
How many bananas?
A solid 8.5 incher for sure.
That's I didn't what? No.
And wouldn't it be nice to live together?
Thank you so much, War Wizard. I appreciate it. You absolute legend. See you tomorrow.
There's no way inside of a society where that doesn't become the case, right? And so, yeah, by the makers, exactly. It's basic biology. Like, all of our biology and everything.
Oh, right. That's what I was... Before that super chat came in, I was gonna make a point. Women are the selectors. That's why it's up to men to be, you know, what should be selected. You be strong, you be capable, you be a protector, you don't be sexually promiscuous, you have good moral values, and you use all of these tools not only to protect your woman, your wife, your family, all that, but to also, here's what a lot of people don't understand about, like, protecting women and shit. Oh, to be a masculine man, you gotta protect women. Well, yes, because women are frail and small and tiny. And at least they should be these things, because fat people don't deserve love. Yes, women are weak. But the thing that women need to be protected from that not enough dudes realize is they need to be protected from themselves. You don't just protect women from the outside, you protect women from the inside. Because they are incapable of doing so.
Thing about, you know, like our, you know, like our being makes it toward that is the case. My mom taught me that quote when I was a teen. I forgot how I found that, but like, yeah, it was something like that. Happens in nature too? Yeah, it does. So like, for example, like you can have an alpha male.
Razor Arm says, this is true. I forget to feed and water myself daily. Bingo, bango, bongo. She is correct.
In like some, you know, wolf pack or something that impregnates 5 different of the female wolves, right? But, and that's the way that a pack.
And King of Demise says, these days women choose to select the non-existing man. And that is men's fault. That is men's fault. And this sounds like a feminist thing to say, but it's actually not. See, the feminists of today don't realize that they have gone so feminist, they've actually crossed over into the realm of misogyny. The feminists today say, oh, there's no good men. I hate men, this, that, and the other. Correct. That is true. Men suck. Because men are such pussy little simp bitches that they have let themselves become not a man worth of having. They have not kept their women in line. They have not, built a society that makes a woman know her fucking place. They have allowed for the OnlyFans lifestyle. They've allowed for the fucking titty streamers that get donated fucking God knows how much amounts of money to. They've allowed these women to come in and run companies that are exclusively male-oriented, like Bud Light, and then do dumb shit like put a fake grifting tranny as the spokesperson and bring the company to its knees. Men fucked up. So the dumb feminist broads are right. They don't realize how misogynistic they're actually being. They are begging for men to take control again because they've grown up in an era where they only know weak, bitch, ass, pussy, simp men. Males. Not even men. Males.
Survives, and I think that's the way that, you know, like species evolve. And obviously, like at a certain point it becomes a problem because there's interbreeding, but assuming that's not the case, this is obviously where things are in real life too. And like you just look back in the days, right? I mean, like these Chinese...
I'm fat. Do I deserve love? I have a fiance. She's a little Filipina. They actually like fat men. No, you do not deserve love, fourth wall guy. Being fat. Now, I use fat in a very specific way. If you were at, you know, any sort of health risk or whatnot, no. If you look at yourself as being fat and think, oh, I'm healthy, oh, I'm okay, oh, I don't need to change, oh, I don't need to better myself, no, you don't deserve love. Not at all. Dead serious. If you are fat, man or woman, doesn't matter. If you are fat and you look at it as healthy, or you think, God just made me this way, if you don't have the instinct to better yourself, no, you do not deserve love.
Like, what's crazy is that, do you remember that Chinese billionaire that everybody was saying was like a great example of birthright citizenship fraud, where he's paid like 100 kids to, like 100 of his kids to like go over and be born in America? The reason why he's doing that is that you are playing the odds. Think about it like this. I don't have a dice, right? But like if you want to roll a 20, do you want 2 chances or do you want 100?
Trauma Tuna, that is the correct attitude to have for a fat person. I'm fat. I do not think I'm healthy at all. I'm trying to lose weight. Bingo, bango, bongo. Correct. You're one of the good ones. I don't hate you. You're one of the fat people I don't hate then.
Chances.
No one exits the womb with a gravitational pull. Socrates.
I'd rather have 100 rerolls, right? And so a lot of these guys, especially, and this is the way that they looked at, you're beating the odds, right? Because like, what if you have a kid and the kid's retarded? Like, I don't mean like a mental illness. I mean like they're just stupid. Like, what if you have a kid and he doesn't understand what a triangle is? Oh my.
Then you fucked up. If you have a kid and it's retarded, then you fucked up. Try harder next time. Try a different position. Don't drink before you fuck. Yeah, Gord, you're a movie guy. I know it's Socrates. In Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, they call him Socrates. I was referencing Bill and Ted. I really hope you know that and you were just leaning into it as well. Because you're a movie guy. You should know when I said Socrates, it was a Bill and Ted reference. Anyway, the point is, if you have a retarded kid, try harder next time.
God. Well, you're the Chinese emperor. He has to understand triangles, and he doesn't
you son of a bitch! You did know!
Get it. Fuck, right? And now you have there's a big problem. This is a huge problem. And so what do? You have 100 kids, and guaranteed at least one of these kids is going to know what a triangle is. So what happens, I think, overbreed with a smart person, exactly. And so that's why they have a bunch of kids. And like, you know, that's the way dynasties would do things, right? That's why many of these older families, like, you know, in antiquity, they would have, you know, dozens of kids. Yes, obviously they would die through childbirth. That's another reason, but it's not the only reason. So my point with this, right, going back to what I was saying with this, is that the reason why
this is like little brother reacting to big brother.
Think women are having this happen. So number one, I think that definitely 100% it is because a lot of women are getting groomed on the internet while they're underage, and it causes them to, it basically poisons the well for men. And number two, the second reason is that women are much more strongly compelled to observe things by consensus rather than by a rational critical thinking thing.
Okay. So I was criticizing Asmongold earlier for not bringing up the social tug of war that women do or that girls do to other girls when they're growing up, when they're adolescents, whatnot. I think that's his way of saying it. You know, the social conditioning to more or less just agree to form consensus. I think he's saying it in a too lightweight manner, but he is saying it.
And this is not a, you know, again, there's no like fucking Like, I'm not being sexist here. This is a fact. It's just a literal fact. And so because of that, what happens is that, you know, like, pedos? Yeah, true. And name the retarded kid Mulligan and try again. Yeah, they're...
I said try harder. I beat Asmongold's chat to it. I said try harder.
There's Mulligan 7, you know, like, hopefully, right? And young women are the best and aggressive revolutionaries due to being empaths. Well, young women are only good revolutionaries in an environment where their level of aggression is not punished.
Women are only good revolutionaries if they have a man telling them how to lead the revolution. Behind every great feminist uprising or whatnot, there's always a dude behind it pulling the strings. Usually some sort of marketing exec guy, but yes.
Right? So young women are actually terrible revolutionaries, and they can never be revolutionaries.
Correct.
The only real revolution...
And by the way, men have to allow that revolution to even happen. Men have to allow that revolution to even happen.
And the only real force for change in society can only ever be men. Because men are bigger, stronger, faster, and they will always
Smarter. Don't forget smarter.
Perform women in any sort of a test of force. This will always be the case. So the only cases where women are powerful in terms of a revolutionary sense is in societies that allow aggression to exist unchecked, which is our society. And it should be any good society. Like, somebody should be able to be aggressive without getting punched in the face, right? And very clearly, women have more radical ideologies and adopt them way quicker than men. Well, why do they do that, though? They do
because women are more gullible than men.
That in order to fit in, obviously, with the group, right? I mean, that's the reason why. And that's, again, the compelling nature of consensus for women. And I think that social media manufactures that consensus. And sometimes it is that consensus. And so once women see...
Women have no interest in conspiracy theories. Women have no interest in conspiracy theories. So when you try to explain to a woman what a fucking psyop is, and how the internet and X and Facebook and YouTube and all that are like just global hubs for psyops, they're gonna be like, but I want new shoes. And it's not even gonna connect. It's not even gonna connect. Trauma Tuner says, what about Kershaw? Here's the dealio. The exception to the rule proves the rule. Yes, Kershaw could be all in. Kershaw could understand psyops. Kershaw could be all about conspiracy theories. Cinevere as well. I run a conspiracy theory show with Cinevere and Sammy 3-Pete. Cinevere obviously being a woman. But the thing is, if there's an exception to the rule, well, that means there's a rule. What about Sevi? I don't know how deep Sevi goes on conspiracy theories. I know how she feels about like rights and the Constitution and free speech and stuff like that. I don't know how deep she goes on conspiracy theories, so I don't have an answer for that. But the point is, yes. Yeah, I know I'm right, Trauma Tuna. I know I'm right. If there's an exception to the rule, it means there has to be a rule for there to be an exception to begin with. And most women, they can't even comprehend conspiracy theories. They're dumb.
And I think that's also...
Or if they do believe in a conspiracy theory, you want to know another thing? If a woman does believe into a conspiracy theory, 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, it's because her husband did first, or her boyfriend did first.
So men do this too, but women just do it at a much higher ratio. And once they see that, well, everybody thinks this and everybody's believing this, then they go with it. Then they start moving with it. And then that's it. Consensus stops progress. Well, whether it stops it or not, that's what's happening, right? That's my point. And read articles on Time to Loss to what being a progressive actually means. Leaves a retro line to the brand of angry young woman well. They remind me of the arts and politics students I used to critique. 95% were women. Almost all of their ideas were the same, all lacking in originality and bravery. Every pitch just a spineless rehash combo in LGBT and feminist sound bites. It was so tiresome. And these were master students. One of the world's most prestigious... That's the problem. And there's also a big issue is that a lot of these women that are getting into college probably shouldn't be there.
Vast majority of them should not be. Again, exceptions to the rule, but vast majority should not be.
Like, they're getting fake degrees for fake jobs. It's a waste of everybody's time and resources. And the only reason why it's happening is because of DEI. It's because of DEI and other forms of selective hiring processes.
Correct.
That's what's happening. Like, a lot of this, and by the way, how do you know this is true? Because of Twitter. Elon Musk, and I've got to say, and I'm not trying to put Elon on the spot here, right? But let's look at this here. I want to show you guys this.
DEI was not a mistake, Zark. DEI was not a mistake. Mistake implies it was an accident. DEI is a forced agenda to change the way the social dynamics of the world work to lead us to a global one world government. Yeah, Twisted Jack gets it. DEI was not a mistake. It was a plan. Exactly.
There's no image of this. Well, I guess I can't find it. I'm sorry. But there were two pictures posted. One was a picture of before they made the change of the Twitter team. And
we're sending our daughter to a military union. It's super conservative. It'll be character building. Based as fuck. See, Razor Off coming out. This is how you mom. This is how you be a mom.
Then after they made the change to the Twitter team. And it went from a romance novel book club to a Warhammer 40K convention. Let me just say that. Let me just say that, all right? Totally changed. Before and after Twitter team? Okay, I'll see if I can find it. Let me see if I can get this. Oh, this might not be it. Let me see if I can find. Yep, there it is. There.
That way you guys can see it better. I'll bring the same one up. I'll bring the same image up. Here we go. Bingo, bango, bongo. Let's see. He's got this one right here. Yup. Now, look at this dude right here. To prove I'm a consistent individual. Look at the gut on Johnny boy. Does not deserve love. Does not deserve love. Eat a steak, you fat fuck. Eat some steak. That being said, even though he doesn't deserve love, he does deserve this job more than any of them. More than any of them.
There it is. Where have women gone from Elon Musk's Twitter? There you go. That's right. No girls allowed. Yep. So what's happened, I think, is that, you know, universities and different programs have created this artificial idea that the participation rate of men and women inside of lucrative fields needs to have parity. It needs to be equal. But the problem there is that some fields are just going to attract more men and some fields are going to attract more women. So the problem is that
So back in the 1800s, the secretary was a very coveted job. Did you know that even then, the vast majority of secretaries were males? The secretary was a coveted job because you got to be in an office. You got to have, protection from the elements. You weren't out, being a hunter. You weren't being a trapper. You weren't being a farmer. The secretary was a coveted job of comfort during, like, the Lewis and Clark days. And it was still mostly men that had that fucking job.
whenever you manufacture that parity, you add people in that shouldn't be there. And that's what's happened, is that you've had a lot of these people that I think have, again, like, look at how many opportunities and advantages.
Teaching attracts more women on average at the younger levels. The older the kids get, the more and more it attracts males. Because again, there's There's more logic to work with than emotion. Young kids obviously don't run on logic. Yeah, they think that Buzz Lightyear is fucking real, right? They watch Toy Story and they think it's a documentary. Once you're in high school, the only high schoolers that think Toy Story is a documentary are the retarded kids, and those classes usually still ran by women.
And programs and possibilities and things that they can take advantage of and everything else, like internships and mentorships that are reserved for women. They're reserved for women primarily, and overwhelmingly. So how is it that you have to do all of this in order to create this parity? It's because it doesn't exist. It's not real. And so what happens is that this is the second order effect, is that you get very, very stupid college students that should have never been in college in the first place. And the only reason they probably were in college is because of a lifetime of preferential treatment, advantages, and systematic, basically benefits.
Goes beyond that. Once again, Asmongold is, he's right, but he's not saying it. I don't think he's covering it up, because, again, Asmongold's a pretty straight shooter. But I think he's skipping a crucial, or not getting to that crucial final step. Why are all these women in college? Very easy answer. Because they have not been groomed the right way, mind you, into the idea that you should be married, having a kid, being part of a loving family, raising a home early. Men, once again, have fucking failed. Men have failed to build and maintain a society, specifically here in the US, that puts the family first. Men build and maintain that. Women will not be going to colleges for goddamn lesbian dance theory or whatever homoerotic shit. They'll be getting out of college, and they'll be going to the fucking home while the dude be working. I think you're getting out of college. I mean, getting out of high school. Yeah, women are going to college because there is no social structure building up the value of a happy, healthy home out the gate.
That's what's happened. That's exactly what's happened, is that they've been given all of these systematic benefits and advantages, and because of that, they've been able to achieve a certain level of parity. But the moment that, a meritocracy is once again enforced, things go back to default settings really quick. They do. And you can look at IQ distribution with men and women. You can look at everything. And the thing is that a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about are things that nobody else will ever say. Nobody else will ever say a lot of this stuff.
Sorry, Asmongold, I will say it. I will say it more. I will say it louder, and I will say it better. Well, I respect the fuck out this guy. Nah, son. I do it better.
And the reason why is because it's politically incorrect. It's politically incorrect to say that very obviously, IQ between men and women are different, but men are much more likely to be on the tail ends of IQ. Like, for example,
the disparity amongst IQ, yeah, he is correct. At the edges is where men shine. At the median, women actually have higher IQs. But again, a higher IQ means nothing if you can't practically apply that knowledge and how to use that intelligence in a way that makes shit function. And women don't do that. Women don't. They still need men to do that for them. Your high IQ don't matter if you can't get the fucking pickle jar open, Karen.
You've got a lot more retarded men, and you've got a lot more, Isaac Newtons and Galileos, right? And so, like, at a person at 150 or at 50 is probably going to be a guy, and at 100, probably going to be more likely to be a woman. That's it. That's fair. That's just the way it is. And so, anyway, I've heard that. Yeah, because it's true. And so,
IQ is not just a number. IQ, like everything else, is a number that is representative of something. Numbers are immaterial. Numbers are ethereal. The number 2 isn't real. 2 doesn't exist. You can't go out to the forest and find 2. So everything is a number. But there's no such thing as just a number. The reason we have numbers are because they correlate to what we can measure. If I have this, and I have this, I need a way to signify there's these. It's not just this. It's not just the. Therefore, 2. Not true. Animals leave 2s all over the forest. God damn it, Gord.
And I'll say it. People hate me.
Anyway, back to IQ being just a number. IQ is a measurement of, again, intelligence. It uses numbers to measure intelligence using metrics that we can actually track. You know, it can be studied. It can be identified. You can see the application process in the real world. So no, IQ is not just a number. If you see somebody with an IQ of 78, actually, if you see someone with an IQ of 67, because you're looking at a Somalian, and you see somebody with an IQ of, 120, that whole IQ is just a number shit goes out the window real fucking quick.
For it? Well, yeah, it's very taboo. Well, and think about that, right? Why is it taboo to acknowledge a biological reality? Think about that. It's because it's, again, what I was saying, the manufactured consensus of a false reality. And the moment that you build your worldview and you try to build, when you try to build a castle on sand on a house of cards, it will always collapse. And that's the reason why their worldviews always collapse. That's the reason why these...
The only true base thing about Forrest Gump is that it showed a man with sub 80 IQ could accomplish more than the majority of high IQ women. I'm pretty sure Gord knows that Forrest Gump is my second least favorite movie of all time. So him making me clap for a Forrest Gump joke, that's real impressive. See, a woman couldn't have come up with that joke. Because women aren't funny. But Gord can fucking do it.
People never achieve anything. It's because there's no foundation under any of it. It's headcanon logic? Yes, it is. So, banned anyone today yet? No, actually I haven't. I've been on like a 1 hour and 40 minute rant. Basically, right? And I've got a lot to say about it.
No, Anthony Way, I hate Forrest Gump. I fucking hate... In fact, until Indiana Jones 5 came out, Forrest Gump was my least favorite movie of all time. My least favorite movie of all time. Then Indiana Jones 5 came out. Forrest Gump had to be knocked up a notch because, goddamn, Indiana Jones 5 is a travesty.
And anyway, let me go back over here. Progress isn't achieved by preachers or guardians of morality, but by madmen, hermits. How about that? Heretics, dreamers, rebels, and skeptics.
No, Crystal Skull is the 4th one. I don't even... Dial of Dysentery is the 5th one.
That's true. And anyway, I'll look at some more of this too, because there's been even more to go through. It's been... and this research has... Again, it's surprised basically nobody, but, again, there it is. And then this is also another one. And let's look at the other angle of this. I told my sister about IQ curves. They were mad. Yep. I mean, the thing is that the truth hurts. Hurts. That's the way.
The truth does not hurt if you're a man. If you're a man, you look at the truth, and it might be uncomfortable. You might not like it, but it doesn't hurt. Because as a man, you don't get hurt by dumb shit like reality. Truth only hurts if you're a woman or if you're a weak dude.
It is. Yeah, that's the way it is.
And yes, baby did absolutely belong in that corner.
And this is the problem, is that we have an entire society that is built to go to war with reality itself. People don't want to acknowledge...
Yes, I do like A Knight's Tale. I haven't seen A Knight's Tale in a long time, but I do like A Knight's Tale.
That gender is real. People don't want to acknowledge that men and women are different. People don't want to acknowledge genetic differences between...
It's not only even that men and women are different, it's that men are better.
Between, different ages. People don't want to acknowledge differences in culture. They don't want to acknowledge...
You want to laugh, Leon? One of the highest IQ women. Guess what she ended up doing? OnlyFans. I'm just going to assume OnlyFans. You want to laugh, Leon? One of the highest IQ women. Guess what she ended up doing? I'm guessing OnlyFans.
Differences in anything. So we live in this hyper reality that's been completely manufactured by people that want to subvert us. And it's happening on every single level.
He is correct. He is calling out the psyop. Close. She ended up becoming an actress. Fair enough. So she's just a different kind of whore.
All those on a run. Well, I mean, somebody's got to say it, right?
Here's a headline for you. The stay-at-home boyfriend is now an economic trend.
The stay-at-home boyfriend. You know, I was a stay-at-home boyfriend myself. The only difference is I didn't have a girlfriend.
I should have seen that joke coming.
I just stayed at home.
Here's a headline for you. The stay-at-home boyfriend is now an economic trend as more women than men go to work. And the reason they found is that fewer young men, Maggie, are entering the workforce than their fathers, their parents were. Is this a trend that you are noticing personally? And what do you think about this?
I want to address this comment because on the one hand, I see where you're coming from. But I don't think you've thought about this long term. War Wizard says those men don't deserve love. Wrong. I would be willing to bet that most of them, let's say 70%, and I'm just spitballing with the numbers here, but let's say 70%, are not being a quote-unquote stay-at-home boyfriend or whatnot out of choice. It is due to the fact that the job market is rejecting them. Because they didn't go to college, because they shouldn't have. College is irrelevant nowadays. You shouldn't need to go to college to do the majority of jobs. There's exceptions, but the majority. But they didn't go to college, so they're being rejected. They're straight or they're white. They're male. They're not getting the DEI cred. You got fucking Indians coming over on these H-1B visas, yet they're running fucking grocery stores. Men are, I would say again, if I did guess, probably 70% of these quote-unquote stay-at-home boyfriends are completely shut out of the market due to the forces at work, these large, higher overarching powers that want to cause the one world government. They are, by force, changing the culture to keep these men out of work so that these weak men cannot have assets, cannot have strength, cannot have property, cannot have things worth defending so that they are easier to control and take over. Catch you later, Gord. Have a good rest of your day, homie. So no, it is not these men don't deserve love. Now, they don't deserve to be coddled. They don't deserve to be told, oh, it's okay, you're doing your best. They deserve love, and more importantly, they deserve a structure and a society. It's one they're going to need to take back and build themselves. You can learn a trade. No. War Wizard, I think that you're misunderstanding. You were correct 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Even now, that is more difficult than it was. Because, yeah, you can learn a trade, but so can that Indian dude who came over and does it for far cheaper. You can be a plumber, but so can the Indian dude, and he'll do it for way fucking cheaper. And it's being artificially pushed by both the American government and governments all over the world. Like, it is not, the whole learn a trade thing, while still applicable, is not near as applicable as it was even 5 to 10 years ago because of the mass influx of foreign labor in the trades as well. You say start your own trade business. Trauma tuna, that does make sense unless you've got foreign competitors that are doing it for way cheaper. Yeah, you can start your own plumbing business, but if in your same town you've got some dirty fucking Indian who's willing to do it for way cheaper than you with his own business, who do you think the people are going to hire? Valkyrie, I need you to pick a spot, please. Now, this is not me being black-pilled. I think that we're going to get out of this. I think there's this growing movement of not just men, but also women, like Razoroff in the chat, that are fucking fed up with this, and they are doing shit to change it. It is not a black pill. I'm just saying that it is a larger problem than most people are willing to acknowledge because it has to do with the global cabal of elite pedophiles that are trying to forcibly change society. Now, Trauma Tuna, you're going to choose the non-foreigners because foreigners cut corners. And I agree with you. But not everyone's going to make that choice. And some people might not have the financial means to make that choice because, again, half these bitches aren't working. It's, the most I can do is just call ICE, and there's the problem. Because ICE ain't going to deal with these fuckers because they're here on government orders. They're here on H-1B visas and shit like that. So these are the ones that the government said, ICE you can't touch. They're protected.
Yes, well, on the internet, we call those men neat. So they're not in education, employment, or training. I think a lot of men
That's not a gendered term, by the way. Women can be neats too.
feel really comfortable sitting online all day long. That's a very comforting space for them.
And yes, H-1B does need revoked. H-1B absolutely needs revoked. There's a lot of problems with the Trump administration. I talk about them all the time. Apparently I'm this big MAGA guy. Just to be fair, I am. But there's a lot of problems. Aside from the Epstein stuff, aside from the fact that I don't think Trump has gone far enough in a lot of cases like immigration and shit like that. I think he's bent the knee and bowed and kowtowed to the leftists too much. Besides the fact that we still have, the IRS, the fact that it still exists. I have a lot of problems with the Trump administration. Yeah, H-1B needs to go. The government promoting H-1B under the Trump administration, huge problem. Fucking huge problem for our good goddamn American men who should be building a strong nation, a strong family, strong community, and keeping their fucking women in line.
And if they're being financially supported, whether by parents or a girlfriend, God knows why that woman chose them, then of course they can.
And this is always what a pretty young girl will come to the conclusion of.
Iron Druid says the import brown people do the work my family has always done. It was supposed to be for valuable, smart immigrants. And that's why. So if H-1B isn't revoked, it needs to be radically altered. Dude, some kid is born in Bangladesh and he has 151 IQ, but he's not going to have the opportunity because he's in, again, fucking Bangladesh. Okay. Bring that bitch over here, have him work on some satellites. But we all know good goddamn well that's not what's actually happening. Just properly enforce the actual tax code. Shut the fuck up, Netflix. No! Taxation is theft. Abolish the IRS. Abolish taxes. Because taxation's theft. We don't do this whole, it can be reformed bullshit in this channel. No. You burn that bitch down.
And the thing is that she's actually not wrong. Like I have very traditional views on marriage.
Correct, Zax. Exactly.
I think that you should be able to earn a living with one person working, and the person working should be the man.
Bingo, bango, bongo. He is exactly correct.
And the woman should stay home and take care of the kids. I would never force a woman.
Fractal says, I definitely overreacted earlier. Leon really does talk this way to anyone in chat. I do. Here's the thing, man. And I think the vast majority of my audience realizes this, and you guys are awesome for understanding it, because, again, you live in fucking reality. That's why you're here. I am not here to fucking please you guys. There's a million goddamn channels out there y'all could be watching. You're choosing to watch me. And I will not be... Why would you choose to watch me if I was going to bow and kowtow and pussy around and, do what you guys want me to do? Nah, fuck that. No. No, you want that audience capture shit? Go watch Hassan, Hamas, Osama bin Laden, Epstein, Dog, Shocker, Fucker, Piker. You want some audience capture? Go watch that bitch. Go watch the Quarter Pounder. Fuck that gay shit.
To do that, but I would want to be in a relationship or a marriage with a woman who wanted to do that. How do I know that works? Jeez, guys. I don't know. Maybe all of history. Yeah, maybe the entire, maybe the whole time. That's it. You need capital. Yes, exactly. All of history, maybe. So, what about before with no kids? Well, why would you get married and not want to have kids?
Now he's asking real questions. Now he is asking, what, dude? If you are not going to have children, no rights. No rights. Why you? First of all, government shouldn't be involved in marriage anyway. And I'm not just against gay marriage. I am also against straight marriage. I want to make sure y'all understand this. I'm also against straight marriage when the government's involved, because the government should have no goddamn involvement. That being said, yeah, no rights for you. Why the fuck are you even getting married? Why are you getting in a relationship if you're not going to further your family, your community? And there's medical exception. Fuck you. Yes, obviously some broads can't have kids. Some dudes' dicks don't work. That's not what we're talking about here.
What are you, retarded? You just date her. That way you can kick her to the curb later on if she gets annoying.
And she will.
Well,
Again, I'm, once again, bigger misogynist than Asmongold. He says if she gets annoying. No. It's when she gets annoying.
I mean, really, like, I mean, well, we gotta say taxes. Just change the way taxes are. Like, this is what I would do. This is beyond me, right? This is what my opinion is that I think that they should change it to where basically if you're married and you only have one person in the family working, you should get a crazy amount of tax benefits. You should get crazy.
If we're going to have taxes, then sure. But the better fix is there shouldn't be taxes to fucking begin with.
You should get more tax benefits, get this, than Somalian scammers in Minnesota. I'm talking about big time. Major tax benefits. Because, and the reason why, and here it makes sense, it does. Because that's the way it should be. We should be paying people to do it right. And so, like, when I was a kid, I don't know if I should say this. Like, so when I was a kid, you know, my mom was a stay-at-home mom.
No, I was not bringing the cat into the picture. I was actually knocking the cat out of the... I've got two cats, and one was starting to fuck with the other one. I didn't want their angry cat yelps that sound like a man and a woman and a dying horse in the heat of labor to be picked up on the mic.
Here's the funny thing. My parents weren't married. They were divorced. But my mom was still a stay-at-home mom because she was in need. She never wanted to get a job. She never wanted to do anything. All she wanted to do all the time was sit on the computer, watch movies, eat chocolate, and be taken to Taco Bell. Not go to Taco Bell, be taken to Taco Bell. She's in the passenger seat, and that's it. And the thing is that the amount of enrichment in the lives of myself, Zach, Cody, Jeff, Cameron, other Cody, Logan, Eric, Alec, Jason, Sean, Dylan, like all of my friends.
What a great list of names. What do y'all notice about those names? Hold on, I'm going to roll this back. What a great list of names. What do you guys notice about these names?
Myself, Zach, Cody, Jeff, Cameron, other Cody, Logan, Eric, Alec, Jason, Sean, Dylan, like all of my friends.
Exactly, War Wizard. These are some white boy names, baby. How many black Camerons do you know? These some good, strong white boy names.
I'm probably
and no Mohammeds, no Singhs. Yeah, Dylan could be black. We'd have to see it written out. If there's a hyphen in there somewhere, which they would call a dash, then Dylan might be black.
I'm not probably forgetting like 10 other people. I had a conversation with one friend of mine about a
yes, slay every game. Zach and Cody did in fact have a sweet life.
Mutual friend of ours. It's one of the people on that list. And we asked ourselves, would this friend be in the situation that they're in right now if, you know, like, and honestly, like, this is the truth. I see as, like, if our mom was still alive, because they were, you know, like, we were that close. And
Iron Druid spelled Cody with a K. Here's the dealio. The name Cody should always be spelled with a K. Sorry, Camelot. Wanna why? Because the letter C is irrelevant. The letter C is the most irrelevant letter in the English language. We could abolish the letter C, have a nice 25-letter alphabet, and it'd be just fine. Because anything a C does, a K or an H does, and they do, or a K or an S does, I mean, and they do it better. Just eliminate the letter C and replace anything with a K or an S. Why we have a fucking 31 days, 30 days in the fucking calendar? Every month can be 28 days. We'll have a 13-month calendar, and then 1 month we'll have 29 days. You have to make it for a two-banker. If you think H-1B is a problem, look up a diversity visa. Oh, I don't know if I'm ready for that rabbit hole. I don't know if I'm ready for that. the C word. What, cunt? So you spell it K-U-N-T instead. It works. Cats are now cats. Exactly. Notice how it didn't sound any fucking different? Cats are now cats. Notice how it didn't change anything? Oh, what other word changed? CH makes the ch sound. That could be a K too. KH could just be ch. Nah, Cody the C is a real dude, just like Steven with a V and not a PH. Nah, Steven with a V, I agree. The letter C is irrelevant. The letter C is the dumbest letter in the English language. What does it do that an S or a K, if we never had the letter C, and we had a 25-letter alphabet, and you got words like change that use a CH, if from the beginning the ch sound was just KH instead, if that's what you learned, bingo, bango, bongo, you wouldn't even know any better. You wouldn't even need the letter C. C is stupid. That was a really weird rant I did not plan on going on today during our misogyny section.
We agreed, like, no. Probably not. And so, that was a really important thing for me. It was a tremendous important thing for me. And so, my outlook on it, let's pay it forward. Let's make sure that somebody has that opportunity to have this happen for them. You see what I'm saying? Rather than trying to pull the ladder up, rather than trying to say that this is a bad thing. That's it.
Oh, damn. Grave just made a real good argument. I've never heard that argument. To be fair, I never had this argument with somebody with the letter C before. If C can do the job of two other letters, we should actually get rid of K and S. That's a good response. That's a good response. Once again, a woman never would have come up with that response. Now, I don't know what gender Grave 1383 is, or at least I didn't until that chat. But that's a man's response right there.
Grandma probably said that. Yeah, exactly. And so, like, and the thing is that, and people will remember her. We'll all remember her for the rest of our lives. She like, I mean, yeah, she was a writer and she was very successful with that. She was an artist and everything, but that's not what we're really thinking about. We use those things to remember her by, but what we really remember is the impact that she had on our lives. And so this one-dimensional, and I'm going to say it, capitalistic idea that a person's worth and value should be measured purely by their economic impact is poisonous. It's completely poisonous.
Yes and no. It is poisonous in the macro, not in the micro. Like the economic impact and someone's worth being defined by that overall. Yes, that makes sense, and I need you to not put your asshole on the camera. Anyway, when you've got a nation of over 300 million people, a lot of it's going to come down to your capital. It is. But from a communal standpoint, in our small, tight-knit tribal groups, obviously it's going to be more than just your capital.
And I think we need to do more to get rid of it. We do. It's not capitalistic. Well, I mean, you could say whatever you want to call it, right? Like financially economic focused. Like a person's value is not the amount of money that they make. You're sounding pro-immigrant, bro?
Can continue to do that. I think that's very disturbing. I would not have a stay-at-home boyfriend personally.
That's right. That's right. And you're cute enough to be a stay-at-home girlfriend if you want to be. You are. And women will always dog on men for being stay-at-home boyfriends.
Without realizing that they have perpetuated this. Well, they haven't really perpetuated it, because the failings of men is what really did it. But they have absolutely reaped the benefits of a society that has further perpetuated this. So it's an evil cycle that, again, they aren't willing to think about or acknowledge the reality of or take any responsibility for, because that would mean accountability for women.
But at the same time, the reality is that these systems that women have wanted to be implemented have created men to be stay-at-home boyfriends. Randomly saw this, highly relevant. What is it? Let me go back, I'll pull it up.
workout sets. Hey, we live in an era where the girls wearing workout sets, drinking matcha, running around a city between workout classes probably make more money than the sea of finance bros that are in line at a Just Salad in between their lunch breaks.
Well, a couple things to say about that. If you're a man and you're in line at a place called Just Salad, you ain't a fucking man. So, there's that. Also, I'm sure these dumb broads are feminists. They're so happy they're making this money. So happy they've got these jobs. Wear what you're wearing in public in, like, fucking Somalia. Wear what you're wearing in public in Iraq. See how different your life is. But men are the problem. You stupid fucking hoes.
I love this life. I was definitely born in the right era.
Having a bunch of hoes running around selling nudes of themselves and then getting plastic surgery, turning out to look like Jigsaw, and then getting depressed and having mental breakdowns at, like, you know, the old age of 29. This is not the way that we were meant to live. It's not.
In the chat said that you think they're OnlyFans or influencers. Yeah, women shouldn't be allowed to be influencers, though. Women shouldn't be influencing shit.
And there's something wrong with it. I have no problem with hoes. I have no issue with them at all. I think they're great.
We need hoes. But we don't need hoes for the reason that the dudes might be all excited for. You know? We don't need hoes because they're hoes. We need hoes so that both men and women have an example of what not to be. You need to be able to be like, look at that slut over there. And shame that little harlot. So that your wife or your girlfriend or your daughter or whatnot knows what not to be. So we need hoes. We just don't need a lot of them.
But at the same time, the glorification of it, the focus on it, and I mean, at a certain point, whenever, what was it named, like Bad Barbie or Bad Baby or something, that the Cash Me Outside girl from Dr. Phil and Little Tay, like, they get famous when they're like 9 years old and when they're like 13 or 14 years old. And they have people pre-ordering their OnlyFans. We've got ourselves a problem here. There's something wrong. There's something wrong.
That's gross.
Really, really big time. Gross? I'm serious. Like, I'm serious about this. Like, y'all can look into this. I mean,
You have to make it for a 5-banger. That's why Leon's here. Show us why daily showers are important. They're not. They're not. Did you know that back in the 1950s, you did not bathe every day? It was not normal. You bathed once a week. You cleaned yourself up every day, but you bathed once a week. Ever since this big water started promoting bathing every day, our flu rates have gone through the roof. Why? 90% of the germs on your body are good germs. Once you start washing that away every day, you make yourself more susceptible to the not good growtiness out in the wild that makes you sick and shit. So no. Daily showers, daily baths, all that is bad. Now, you wash yourself up every day. Look, I get up in the morning, I take me a whore bath. I clean under my fucking arms, I clean my dick. Like, yeah, you don't be out there being a fucking gross ass. But you don't full-on bathe daily. That's actually bad for you. It's bad for your skin, it's bad for your hair, and it's bad for your health.
Little Tay even said it, which is, that's just so sick, right? So sick. And so here's the problem, right? How do these girls have the idea to go and do OnlyFans and stuff?
Now, Netflix for him. I'm a free speech channel. I allow almost everything. But you saying that I'm French, that could be a bannable offense, motherfucker. Because I am an actual xenophobe against the French. I am an actual xenophobe against the French. Long hair can't wash their hair every day. Super bad for it. Yes, correct. Razor off is correct.
Stuff like this whenever they turn 18. It's because they're probably getting groomed on the internet by adult men that are telling them to do it. That's the reason why. And by other adults that are trying to feed into this idea.
Would I rather be French or a commie? Well, because I'm not a woman and I understand hypotheticals, I will choose. The answer is commie. The answer is commie, then French. No, it's not. No, I'd rather be French. If I had to choose between the two, it's French. But really, there is always a third option. The third option, suicide. And that's the one I would take. I'm pretty sure God would forgive me. I know that suicide is, like, pretty frowned upon. Up in the, with the big man upstairs. But if the option was French or commie, and I chose suicide, I think God would be pretty chill with that. I think he'd get it. They say God don't make mistakes, and for the most part, that's true. But he made the French. I do gotta question that a little bit. But yeah, no, I'm not a woman. I will entertain hypotheticals properly. So yeah, French. French for sure.
Is sick. Absolutely sick. The Epstein? Yeah, exactly. Like, the Epstein class is real, but it's not just people that are really rich.
No, Zark. God didn't make communism. The devil made communism. God made the French, and he just made a mistake. But the devil made communism.
And there's a lot of Epsteins. And they're cutting out the middlemen. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't have a problem with girls that do it, but it shouldn't be a lifestyle, right? And anyway, no, I think that there's... And look at this tweet, right? 7.2 million views. Look at this. And so, me greeting my wife in nothing but an apron and a drug-induced erection. Hi, honey, how was your bullshit?
How was your bullshit Jewish daycare retard email job? Holy shit. What a great fucking tweet. Me greeting my wife in nothing but an apron and a drug-induced erection. Hi, honey, how was your bullshit Jewish daycare retard email job? God damn, that wins the internet.
How was your job? How was your job today? Yeah, there it is. As a stay-at-home husband, I spend
Asmongold just got off a Twitch ban. He ain't risking shit.
most of the days lifting, tanning, training martial arts, and reading philosophy. Yeah, there it is. And so we're just going to pretend that college and the workforce didn't do everything possible to kick out young men. Exactly. So corporate America promised to hire a lot more people of color. It actually did. White was 6%. People of color, 94%.
There you go. Back to what I was saying earlier about the stay-at-home husbands, stay-at-home boyfriends, what the fuck ever. There it is.
I really thought I'd get actual pushback. Someone somewhere articulating a theory of what I got wrong, why DEI was good or necessary, but this is pure ad hominem, total epistemic closure. There's nothing under the hood. And completely uncurious about the world that they actually live in. So, again, the lost generation. Oh boy. 1 in 6 hiring managers have been told to stop hiring white men. There you go. And so this is the reason why...
Correct, suck my dick. Pure cultural sabotage.
Why you have these things happen. And this is something that was done to men. It did not happen to men. It was done to them intentionally
by other men. That's the important part. It happened to men. It was done to men intentionally by other men. By men at the tip top of the social and financial hierarchy. This cabal of powerful, rich elites that like having sex with children.
With a malicious intent. It was done with a malicious intent, and it was done to hurt them. And it worked. It worked. Yeah, why is this happening to us? Angry? Because there are too many men. Here's the reason why it happens. It's because there are too many men that are eager to sell themselves and sell other men out in order to... They will throw away every level of self-respect they have just for a crumb of pussy. That's...
there's a lot more to it in terms of like taking over the world and living in the pods and eating the bugs and being happy, but the pussy thing is true too.
That's the reason why. Just to hear that they're a good boy on on a Twitter post. That's the reason why. That's all there is. Too many simps. That's right. Too many simps. And eventually I think this will go away. And I think it's beginning to go away.
That would be a banger fucking AI video. Too many cooks, but it's too many simps. Someone get on that.
Because now, like, the conditions are becoming so problematic that, it's like something like this. I hate to say this, guys. Has there ever been a single society in the history of societies where young, able-bodied, military-aged men were systematically disenfranchised and disadvantaged, and there wasn't something bad that happened? I'm pretty sure the probability for something bad happening on that's like 100%, right?
And this is why we don't black pill. Because if we black pill, we are so fucked.
Amazons? Yeah, okay, so the one that's not real, right? Okay, yeah, sure, like Wonder Woman. Great point. Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, I think that's it's pretty substantial. Pretty substantial, right? And basically, exactly, it takes a while, though. Yeah. And this is a result of stop bullying. At least the kids that got bullied turned out to be doctors and lawyers. No, I think these are two separate things, actually. And why are women reacting negatively to this? I thought women...
Can we all just agree to write into a law that simps, cucks, and male feminists aren't real people? Well, here's the funny thing about the law. Because everything that you just described falls under commies. And by law, commies don't actually have rights. Now, for whatever reason, we don't enforce this law, but we should. It was written into law in like the 40s or 50s that commies don't actually get rights. But for whatever reason, we don't enforce it. So that's already in the law, that simps, cucks, and male feminists aren't real people. We're just not doing it, apparently. We're just not enforcing that law.
Liked being out of the workforce and staying home was a horrible atrocity that had been inflicted on them against their will. It's a power dynamic, and also it's different people doing it. What's wrong with men playing reparations for being oppressed in the same way? True. And every data point about struggling young men is always discussed in the vacuum as if it suddenly happened, like weather or earthquakes. It has nothing to do with the policies that were literally designed to fast-track women into professional jobs for the past 3 generations. It is. And I'm going to be honest, like, I will never... This is the reason, I've said this before, this is the reason why I never support any Democrat for anything.
Based.
This is the reason. Right here. It's because Democrats support this shit. Some Republicans do, too. To be fair, they do. And it's a huge problem. It's a massive problem. And good, Shirley getting bullied turns out amazing everyone. Well, I didn't say that, right? I mean, I don't agree with that. But anyway, so this is what and they've got no problem patronizing and talking like this. And the problem is that these women are actually right. They are. It shouldn't be like this, but it is. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse. I'll look at it.
And again, because this video is almost over, so I'm just going to reiterate it for all y'all in the back. It's getting worse because weak men are letting this happen. Weak men are letting this happen. And a lot of us are probably weak men at one point or another. I sure as hell was. I absolutely was. Some of y'all may have been before, some of y'all might still be now, and this is why you're here. But that's A-okay, because that shit stops now, son.
A few more posts about this, and I want to look at some other stuff. Trump should be squashing this. He's being a complete pussy. He is. He's being a massive, gigantic pussy. And it's so fucking embarrassing. It makes me mad. Every day I see some post about him getting mad about something and not doing anything. It makes me fucking furious. And do you have a negative or positive view on the opposite gender? Women, 21% negative. That is insane, as I said. Holy fucking shit. And so anyway, let me go back over here. And where is this? Oh, yeah, here's another one. University leaders warn Australia faces a generation of lost boys as young men increasingly fall behind in education and employment opportunities. And the reason why is that, again, it's because there are advantages that are created explicitly for women that men don't have access to. That's the main problem. This is by design. If you removed all the guardrails, if you took away all the guardrails, all of the...
Trump is being a massive pussy. A lot of people really don't realize Trump is pretty much immoderate. Correct. Trump, to this day, She's just a 90s Democrat. Someone said in chat earlier, I don't remember who, my bad, that you wish Trump was the monster that the Democrats make him out to be. I agree. Completely agree.
Policies, all of the regulations, all of the quotas, all of the rules. Well, that's what would happen. There it is. That's exactly what would happen.
How can men fight against the court system? Jewish lawyers. Jewish lawyers. We all want to talk about the Jews running the world and shit, and you know what? Maybe. But they're real good lawyers.
And this will happen every single time. 99 out of 100, probably higher than that, 999 out of 1,000. This is just the way it is. Where it says women already made up 57% of the student body, but it wasn't enough. Women are never satisfied until they have 100% of the opportunities. It's not women. It's just, it's people. This is the problem, is that, and the West has not inoculated itself around false accusations of bigotry. The reason why this continues to be a problem is that people don't understand how to ignore accusations of bigotry. And whenever something like that is leveraged in a way that's, not true or inaccurate, what they do, instead of actually listening to and, trying to, take it seriously or not, they just immediately apologize. They say, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm wrong because you're calling me this word. So basically, Westerners have become completely cucked by, words. That's what's happened. This will change
Unless you're the quartering. Then you've been completely cucked by your bull.
very fast because men have required strength to do something about it. Well, that'll only happen.
And yes, Mari Ingram, you are correct.
And hopefully,
Maria Ingram, you are absolutely correct.
Horrible. And I think that you still have time to turn things around. But I do want to say that eventually, this will end violently. Undeniably, this will end violently. And there is no chance.
That Darn Otaku gets it. If the glove don't fit, you gotta quit. Bro, if you get yourself a lawyer and the name ends in Berg or Stein or something, you good, bro. You good.
That the men that are being violent about it will not win. It will just be unquestionable. It'll be instantaneous. There's nothing that Dark Age, exactly, yeah. So you should be trying everything that you can do to prevent that from happening. That's a scary thing. Yeah, it's inevitable.
And there it is, boys. There it is. I think I've shown undeniable proof that while Asmongold is, link is in the chat for you guys, while Asmongold is unfathomably based, I am more misogynistic than him.